Good afternoon. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is September 2nd, 2025, and this is our weekly media briefing. We're going to certainly have some conversations today with the Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, who will let us know everything that's going on in parks. We're going to talk rabies this afternoon with Westchester County Health Commissioner, Dr. Shalita Amler, and the Senior Sanitarian, Bob Bellock. Talk about household recycle days when we're going into the fall. Got more household recycling days coming up, and a specific paint recycling day that we're having. We're going to hear from our first Deputy Commissioner from the Department of Environmental Facilities, Lou Vitrone. Talk about things happening as we go heading into our 9/11 remembrances and recognitions on the 10th and 11th, the 9/10 and 9/11 coming up next week. Certainly talk through Playland and the things that are going on and the numbers that we've had going into the holiday weekend. But we're going to start this afternoon and talk first, reminding people it's back to school. It's September 2nd. So in some of the cities like in Yonkers, in a small village in Yonkers, they don't start school until Thursday on the 3rd. They start on the half days on the 3rd and then the full days on the 4th, and certainly going around for all the communities. But many of our school districts started today on the 2nd. So they're celebrating their first day, half days, making sure that young folks are getting it out. They're going to start half days and do all that kind of work. So congratulations to the parents for getting through the summer. I know the coffee takes a little bit better this week, but for our first timers and folks that are having their children go to school the first time, it's kind of a kind of bittersweet day. There'll be lots of hugs and tears and that kind of thing, and those things are always exciting as a new school year is starting. So it's a chance for fresh starts, new friends, new opportunities, and all those great things. And you know your county is going to be here to make sure the families have the support that they need. Our teachers, administrators, and school staff deserve a huge thank you for the work that they do. They're the heart in our classrooms. They give so much of themselves to make sure that all of our children succeed. To the students of Westchester, this is your moment. Every year is a fresh page in your story. Ask questions, make new friends, try something new, and remember, everyone in the county is cheering you on. So Westchester students, it's your time to shine. So again, a new school year, and certainly that means that if you see a stop school bus with the stop sign that's out, that means everyone stops, both sides of the roads. Doesn't matter if there's a barrier in between them. Make sure that you stop when it is appropriate to do so. Don't be that person, especially with all the school bus cameras that we have in our school districts in Westchester County. You will get that ticket in the mail, and you will be responsible for handling that. But again, more importantly, it's for the safety of our students to make sure that everyone gets off the bus safely, on the bus safely, and parents, guardians, and people taking them to the bus are being protected as well. So again, school's open, drive carefully. And up now, we're going to have Dr. Shalita Amler, our Commissioner of Health, and our Senior Sanitarian, Bob Bellock, come up and talk a little bit about rabies.
Thank you.
Dr. A.
Thank you so much. Thank you, County Executive Jenkins, for giving us this time to speak about something that can truly save lives, protecting ourselves, our families, and our pets from rabies. Just today, rabies was in the national news. 6 deaths have been reported in the last 12 months in the United States, the highest number in years, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In Westchester, the last reported death was about 30 years ago, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't take this seriously. During 2017 to 2024, there were a total of 117 positive rabid animals reported in Westchester County. Rabies is a deadly virus, most often found in wild animals like raccoons, skunks, bats, fox, coyotes, and groundhogs, and yes, even deer. But it doesn't stop there. Our own household pets, cats, dogs, horses, livestock, can also become infected, and even tiny kittens can carry rabies. And that's why vaccinating your pets and keeping their boosters up to date is one of the most important things you can do to protect not only your pet, but to also protect your family. Rabies exposures can happen at any time of year, but they're most common during the warmer months when we're all outside having fun. And many times it's well-meaning animal lovers who put themselves at most risk. They see a cat or a dog or a wild animal that looks sick, injured, lost, or just cute, and they try to help them. And unfortunately, that help can be exactly what puts them in danger. The safest choice is simple. Stay away and call for help. If you see an animal acting strangely or in distress, don't touch it, don't approach it, and keep your children and pets away from it. Call the police or animal control instead. That's the safest way to handle that situation. And if you or a family member experiences a domestic animal bite from a dog, cat, or other type of pet, it is important to get the owner's name and contact information to provide to our health department. Our staff, Bob Bellock and his team, will work to find out if the animal has been vaccinated for rabies, and together with our public health nurses will work to determine if you or your family member requires rabies prophylaxis. It's also very important to remember that if you find a bat in your house, catch that bat and do not release the bat. Then and only if the bat tests positive for rabies will rabies prophylaxis be necessary. And without the bat, as Bob will probably reinforce what I'm saying, anyone who has a bad exposure where we don't have the bat to test is going to require rabies prophylaxis. Rabies is a fatal disease, and once the symptoms begin, it's too late to save a life. Capturing the bat can help us target treatment to those who only need it and prevent tragedies from happening. So now I want to turn it over to Bob Bellock from my team. Bob?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amler. Rabies doesn't always look the way people expect. A rabid animal may be unusually aggressive, surprisingly tame, or simply off. It may lose its fear of people, become restless and irritable, or act weak and lethargic. Sometimes it staggers, sometimes it foams at the mouth, but not always. The warning signs vary, so don't take chances. If you notice an animal around your property that is acting unusual, notify your local police department. If you, your child, or your pet are ever bitten or scratched by a stray or wild animal, wash the wound right away with warm, soapy water. Seek medical attention immediately and call the Westchester County Health Department at 914-813-5000. That phone call could save your life. If the bite or scratch comes from someone's pet, get the owner's name, address, and the pet's name so we can confirm its vaccination status. Then report it to us. Now let's come back to prevention. We're holding 2 free rabies vaccination clinics for dogs, cats, and ferrets in New Rochelle on Sunday, September 14th and Sunday, November 9th. To make an appointment, call Stamen Animal Hospital at 914-632-1269. Vaccinating your pets is more than just a routine responsibility. It's peace of mind. It's protecting them, your children, and your neighbors. Rabies exposures have happened in nearly every city, town, and village in Westchester. Through encounters with stray and feral cats, kittens, raccoons, skunks, coyotes, even a bear cub. None of us are immune to the risk. And of course, bats can carry rabies too. To keep bats out of your home, seal any openings larger than 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch. Use window screens and chimney caps, and fill gaps around pipes with caulk or steel wool. If a bat gets into your home, do not let it escape. Safely capture and contain it, and then call us immediately at 914-813-5000. Especially if anyone was asleep in that room. The bat must be tested to rule out rabies. Instructions on safe bat capture, along with a list of certified trappers, are available on our website at health.westchestergov.com/rabies. The bottom line is simple. Stay away from animals you don't know. I want to repeat that one. Please stay away from animals you don't know. Keep your pets vaccinated and call us if there's ever an exposure. Together, we can keep Westchester safe from rabies. Thank you.
Bob, I want to add one more thing. When we have a wild animal that has tested positive for rabies, Bob and his staff will sometimes go into the community and they will put up posters indicating, we've had a rabid fox or we've had a rabid raccoon or a rabid cat. If you see those posters up in your neighborhood and you have seen that animal or been bit by that animal, it's really important not to ignore this warning, but to call us so that we can make sure that you get the appropriate treatment that you need. Last year we had an instance where I think it was a fox that had a fox that was rabid, and we put up posters. 2 people came forward that had been bitten by that rabid fox, and if we hadn't found them, they could have went on to develop rabies. So keep your eyes open when you put those posters up. Really read them, and if you were exposed, please call us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Emler. Thank you, County Executive Jenkins.
Good afternoon. It's Richard Wishney, Deputy County Executive, and last week we had the opportunity to announce some important programming by our Department of Environmental Facilities. And today, due to its importance, we want to invite Deputy Commissioner Lou Vitrone back to tell us a little bit more about this program, because it's an important part of the county's ongoing commitment to protecting the environment while making recycling more accessible for the community. Deputy Commissioner Lou Vitrone.
Thank you, Deputy County Executive Jenkins. On behalf of the Department of Environmental Facilities, I'm very excited to tell you about some upcoming events we have. First, I'd like to talk about a free paint recycling event that we're going to hold on Saturday, September 20th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Sprain Ridge Park on Jackson Avenue in Yonkers. And this event is open to all Westchester residents and businesses. You do need to pre-register to attend the event, and you can do that by calling the recycling helpline at 914-813-5425, or by visiting circular.eco, E-C-O, circular.eco/event/Westchester. And when you do register for this event, you can bring virtually any type of paint-related product, and that includes latex, acrylic, water-based, oil-based, enamel, and floor paints, as well as stains, shellacs, waterproofing finishes, and metal coatings. I should also mention that paint and paint products are accepted at our household material recovery facility, or HRD, or HMRF in Valhalla. That's at 15 Woods Road in Valhalla. And it's accepted at the HMRF year-round, these products. So you do need to make an appointment to visit the HMRF as well, and you can do that by, again, calling the recycling helpline at 914-813-5425, or visiting environment.westchestergov.com. So the other events I'd like to talk about are our 3 Household Recycling Day events, or HRD events. We have the first one coming up this Sunday, September 7th, at the Charles Point Resource Recovery Facility. That is at 3 John Walsh Boulevard in Peekskill, and that is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have a second one coming up Saturday, October 4th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Sprain Ridge Park, Jackson Avenue in Yonkers. And the final HRD, or Household Recycling Day event of the year, will be held Saturday, November 8th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Playland Park in Rye. And this is open to all residents of Westchester County. And residents can take virtually anything that is not accepted curbside by their sanitation department. That includes household cleaning products, fertilizers, pesticides, textiles, paint, fluorescent bulbs, electronic waste, expired and unwanted medications, tires, documents for shredding, and Freon appliances. There's a lot more, so if you want a full list of the items, you can go to www.westchestergov.com environment.westchestergov.com, or you can call the recycling helpline at 914-813-5425. I do want to mention these events are extremely popular. We do get lines and wait times. So if you'd like to avoid waiting in line to get rid of these materials, again, you can always visit the Household Material Recovery Facility, or HMRF, in Valhalla. Again, 914-813-5425 to make a reservation to visit the HMRF, or you can go online at environment.westchestergov.com. You do not have to make a reservation to go and attend one of these HRD events, though. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Lou, thank you. All right, that was First Deputy Commissioner of our Department of Environmental Facilities, Lou Vitrone, and certainly talking through all of the great household recycle days that are coming up, and things that we are concerned about making sure to keep out of the waste stream. And basically, that's everything that shouldn't be in there. But again, there are so many different opportunities throughout the county and local municipalities where things may be picked up curbside. They may have a recycling center to be able to drop off some of those things. This is another opportunity. I know this is the time of year, especially right after the summer, people are going through, they're cleaning things up. And the paint recycling day is very important. Again, trying to make sure that we're keeping those things out of the waste stream is just critically important to be able to do that. And again, there's so many great ideas. If you go to the environment.westchestergov.com website to see those kind of things, to do that. There's a little app as well that they have to do a recycling coach, and make sure that, when you're doing the regular recycling, that you clean those things out before you put them out. Don't leave the peanut butter jar with the little peanut butter in it. Make sure to clean those things up, because then it is useful. Otherwise, it is just trash. The way that things are happening. So again, there were so many good things there for those 3 household recycling days, as well as the paint recycling days. And again, echo one of the points, they are extremely, extremely popular. People can say to us all the time, it's like, oh, I had to wait so long to do that. There is another version. If you would like to go to the HMRF that's on our Valhalla campus and be able to do the same kind of drop-offs without having to wait significant times online. But again, the events are extremely, extremely popular, but they are also very well run by Department of Environmental Facilities and the partners that do that. You don't get out your vehicle, you stay in your vehicle, you point at the things, and then make sure to bring things back to your car and back into your vehicle. And again, that time of the year, especially when you want to get rid of important papers and make sure that they're shredded, and do all those things. So again, looking at the website is so important to do. What we have coming up, though, going into next week, September 11th, so Westchester County is going to host 2 special events this September to honor the lives lost on September 11th, 2001, and pay tribute to the first responders, the survivors, and families forever impacted by that day. So there's an interfaith prayer vigil, which will happen on September 10th. So on September 10th at 5 p.m., that's going to be at Kensico Dam in Valhalla, at the Rising, and 9/11 First Responders Memorial. So you'll be able to join faith leaders, community members, and county officials in a moving ceremony that has an evening of reflection, prayer, and unity. This vigil provides an opportunity to gather together in remembrance, regardless of faith or background, and to honor the resilience of our community. Then on September 11th, we have our September 11th memorial service, which will start at 3 p.m. at Kensico Dam Plaza, right at the foot of the Rising, the county's annual memorial service that will honor our Westchester residents who perished on 9/11/2001, as well as those who have since passed away from 9/11 related illnesses. Family members, first responders, and community leaders will gather at the Kensico Dam Plaza for a solemn ceremony of remembrance, reflection, and tribute. Both events will be live streamed to ensure that anyone who wishes to take part can join the commemoration. And again, that's on September 10th, which is the interfaith service at 5 p.m. And then September 11th is our memorial service at 3 p.m., both at Kensico Dam Plaza. So again, making sure that we never forget those folks that perished on 9/11 and those who perished afterwards from 9/11 related illnesses, and we owe it to all of them to stand together throughout Westchester County. There's several municipalities that will also have ceremonies. That's why ours is at 3 p.m. To make sure that we are not interfering with any of the local ceremonies that are going throughout Westchester County. And again, it is time to make sure to take that opportunity to stand there together as a Westchester family and certainly citizens of the United States, and all of us working together to make sure that we're remembering our 9/11 memorial and those we lost on that day, and those who have passed away since that, working through 9/11 related illnesses. We also, this week, announced, the past week, we announced some extension dates for both our playland and pool seasons that we have for the next 2 weekends for playland for Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to keep the summer fun alive, extending the operating season. So you'll be able to enjoy 2 additional weekends of rides, games, and family entertainment on Saturdays and Sundays, both September 6th and 7th, the 13th and 14th, with the park hours being from 12 to 7 each day. We know the Playland enthusiasts continue to tell us how Playland is a destination that brings joy to people of all ages, and by extending these park hours, we're making sure residents and visitors alike can squeeze in every last bit of fun before the season ends. It's an opportunity to enjoy a little more time in the park and celebrate the end of the summer together. In addition to the rides, there's certainly strolling entertainment, Coast of the Dragon meet and greets, and refreshments available for purchase from both our food trucks and from the stands and from the vendors that are there together. Admission to the park itself is free, $15 ride all day wristbands, $10 parking, and certainly you can look at playlandpark.org for a full list of the rides. And we had a couple of new ones, our fan favorites. The Old Mill and Log Flume actually opened up in time for Veterans Appreciation Day at Playland this year. Someone did mention to us that the Veterans Appreciation Day did not have all of the same festivities because there has not been the ability this year at Playland to do group food events. So there hasn't been that kind of sessions this year. So basically this year it was a Veterans Appreciation Day where we were able to have our veterans participate and bring family together and walk around and stroll around in the park. But we were not able to do the full thing that we will do. That'll come back next year. It'll be fine, and everyone will continue to enjoy and continue to recognize and celebrate our veterans for the work they've done to protect all of us. Also, as I mentioned, the pools are going to stay open a little bit later, a little bit longer. So September 6th and 7th. The pools that are open are only Saxon Woods and the Sprainwidge Pool in Yonkers. So Saxon Woods in White Plains, Sprainwidge in Yonkers. Certainly it's weather permitting, and it's the 6th and 7th and the 13th and 14th. So 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. You know, we usually get that little extra boost of summer that comes in those couple of weekends, and this will give another opportunity for you to take advantage of our 2 pools that we're going to have open. One again in White Plains, Saxon Woods, and Sprainwidge Pool in Yonkers, right at the edge of Greenburgh, right? Everyone continues to ask us, so we'll let you know from Monday, August 25th to September 1st, which is approximate numbers. The pools and beaches had 13,000 visitors, and was a little bit cooler over the last week. So 13,000 people visited the pools and beaches. We had 10,000 rounds of golf that were played, 10,100 rounds of golf. And we had the Tom Petty tribute at Kensico Dam Plaza on Friday, this past Friday. 1,800 people were doing the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers tribute at Kensico Dam Plaza. And there were 30,500 people that visited Playland from Thursday through Monday. So again, it's been an average in that particular area, but again, 30,500 people at Playland for this past week. We continue to have additional folks enjoying and loving the Playland opportunity. And it was the last week of fireworks. Everyone asked, will we have fireworks on a Sunday? But we have not done that at all this year, even though it was supposed to be the last day. And Playland is going to be open on Saturday and Sunday. So the fireworks, August 29th was that last fireworks. I hope you had the opportunity to get out there and see that. It looked beautiful online. And again, we're going to continue to move that forward. With that, let's bring up our favorite Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, who's going to let us know everything that's going on, including Puppy Yoga. I know Puppy Yoga's coming up this week, and I know a lot of folks, and you had to register to be there. DCE.
Thank you, sir. And welcome back. We're glad to have you back. I am the favorite Deputy County Executive because I'm the only Deputy County Executive. At this time, I do want to share with you some of the events at our award-winning and nationally accredited park system. On Thursday, September 4th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we're having the farm stand at Hilltop Hanover Farm in Yorktown. And the stand is open Thursdays through Sunday through Thanksgiving. To contact the farm stand, call 914-862-5034. When it's open, or email farmstand@hilltophanoverfarm.org. On Friday, September 5th, from 6 to 8 p.m., we're going to have an exhibit at the Del Bello Muscoot Farm. It's called the ABCs of Muscoot Farm. Join us for an evening reception, during which guests can be the first to tour the gallery, mingle with fellow farm enthusiasts, and celebrate Muscoot's rich legacy and community spirit. Light refreshments will be served. Starting on September 13th, the exhibit will be on display in the main house weekends through September from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday, September 6th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., the pop-up market on the plaza at Kensico Dam Plaza. This is where a variety of local vendors will be at the Kensico Dam, and you can get some really good deals there, so we hope you'll take advantage of that. And then finally, on Sunday, September 10th, once again, we have the reopening of Bicycle Sunday. The Bronx River Parkway is a 13.1-mile loop from Westchester County south to Scarsdale Road in Yonkers. It's closed to cars. You can have a wonderful time with your family, on your bikes, walking, running, whatever you enjoy. It's a safe, wonderful place. And we just want to mention admission is free, as always, and it'll continue on September 14th, 21st, and October 5th. That's our report, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And again, make sure that if you did not sign up for it already, to sign up for that Parks e-newsletter. You certainly can get that by going on westchestergov.com. Click on the link to sign up for the Parks e-newsletter, or better still, download through your Android store or the App Store, the Android Play Store, or the Play Store for Android devices, or the Apple App Store. Download that Parks app, the official Westchester County Parks app. It also has some discounts, let you know everything that's going on, whether pools, beaches, and Playland are open based on weather conditions and things that are going on. But also you can sign up for things like Puppy Yoga, which is coming to Kensico Dam Plaza this weekend, and in Ridge Road Park, I think on the 7th of September. And it's sad that I know that, but Puppy Yoga is a good thing for all of us because we need to have that. Today we had some great information that came back to all of us to talk to us. We had with Dr. Sherlita Amler and our senior sanitarian, Bob Bellock, to talk to us about rabies and things that are going on. Make sure that you go to the health department website at health.westchestergov.com to find out that information about capturing a bat. I'm not quite sure I would do that, but you know, there's bat people that are out there that throw up the bat signal and bring in a bat person to help us taking care of everything together to make sure that we have and capture the bat so that it can be tested, and making sure that the rabies is not present, and making sure that our folks that might have been in a room with a bat. And again, we have bats in Westchester. You know, we are not upstate, but we certainly have them flying around and doing that. The other part was talking about the fox and the scenario that happened earlier last year, where the posters that were put up we're able to let people know and be aware that they may have to get themselves tested, and it prevented additional injury and additional therapies from having to be utilized. And again, it's very important to do to make sure that that happens. Again, don't talk to pets or animals that you don't know. That just sounds like you can use that so many different places. If you don't know them, again, listen to your mom and dad who told you don't talk to strangers, and animals that you don't know fit into that category. No matter how warm and fluffy they may look. Legislator Erica Lang Pierce always says, deer's bad and wolf's good. I don't know that's the good wolf's that from our wolf conservatory that's up in our northern part of Westchester County to make sure those things happen. But again, those are very important items right now, especially with the things that are happening. Animals that are outside, your pets that are outside, they could run into any kind of things that are out there, and a bite could turn dangerous, and then that rabies, it could be a very bad scenario for everyone all around. So make sure that you test and do that. Again, take a look. As Bob Burlock said, I'm looking on the health.westchester.gov website to make sure that you see those. Lou Bertrand told us about the 3 new household recycling days event and the additional paint recycling event. Take advantage of all of that. And once again, Westchester residents, to be able to take advantage of that, making sure that dumping doesn't occur, making sure we're keeping Westchester the great, beautiful place that it is, and making sure that we're not getting things into our waste stream. Then our health department has to kick in and do all those things together. We have our 2 services that are coming up next week on 9/10, which is our memorial service, which is the Interfaith Prayer Vigil on September 10th at 5 p.m., the September 11th memorial service at 3 p.m., both at Kensico Dam Plaza. We'll let you know all the things that are happening in the nationally accredited and award-winning park system, and we thank you so much for participating in all of these things. You know, Westchester is certainly a great, beautiful place, and we have so many things that are happening. Take advantage of them. It's your county. It's the investments that you make, and whether those are in Department of Environmental Facilities and things like household recycling, or Department of Health that does a tremendous job in watching and maintaining and monitoring everything public health related. Take advantage of all of those things. With that, I'm Ken Jenkins, County Executive. Thank you so much for watching. If we need to come back to you sooner, we will absolutely do that. Otherwise, we will see you all next week at a media briefing on next week on Monday, back on our Monday schedule. Again, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.